Welcome to Paratruth.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
The power agency is built for those who move like predators, decide like weapons, and execute like their life depends on it. You're either fully in, or you're...
I had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, you know. Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry for all that weirdness on the intro. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Phone calls coming, dogs barking. Sometimes that kind of stuff happens. Kind of weird. We're working with one of the Exempit companies to put advertisement on a network. You know, the people that help you lose weight, and or the people help you if you got diabetes. So we've been working with them. They decided to call right as the show went live, which y'all couldn't hear at the moment because I had it on mute. But still, it was kind of weird. So anyway, we'll get back with them later on. So you may see their commercials running across the thing. There's Sexy J Beastman. Welcome, Joe.
What's happening?
Joe. Hey, Heidi. How you doing out there?
Hey,
it decided also to storm. So if I disappear, it's probably because a storm comes in.
We got big thunder rivers coming through right now.
Yeah, I know y'all been getting it pretty bad up there too. Yeah. Or if this trigeminal neuralgia kicks in, I might have to disappear for a little bit. But there's been so much going on, and you know, if it was a news show, that's all we'd be talking about is news tonight. I mean, it's flooding all over the place, and I mean, everywhere you look, it's flooding. You know, I guess ET don't like us.
Cool in proportion.
You know, ET doesn't seem to like us enough to stop the flooding. I guess. So I guess we're all screwed on that number.
They say that the original flood of the biblical myth and other cultures was actually caused by them on purpose to weed out the unfavorables on the planet, if you will. They did their own little Hitler thing with a big old rock and threw it into one of our oceans.
Yeah, well, they may have. I mean, it's you know, a lot of flooding going on. What's kind of weird.
Hey, Joe.
A friend of mine from New York calls me and was telling me something. He goes, "Tell me about the flood." I said, "Dude, we're used to that down here. I mean, it's just part of life here, flooding." Matter of fact, we're waiting on a tropical depression to come through. Well, maybe a tropical depression to come through over the next 3 days, which means I'll have 3 to 5 foot of water in my yard. But it's calm in here, and we're set up for that. And don't get me wrong, it can still be a disaster for a lot of people, but it's something that we're used to as my friends up north are not really used to that kind of flooding, and it takes a lot. I mean, when your house gets full 4 foot of water in your house, it's hard to deal with, and a lot of insurance companies don't cover that because most homeowners in the north have not renters insurance. They have homeowners insurance, and they have wind and hail. They don't really have flood insurance because you don't really need it, and it's an extra. And for y'all, it's probably about $5,000.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think it is. It's not. It's an extra. It's an extremely expensive extra add-on.
But the bad part is it's funded by the government. See, if we wasn't subsidized, we were grandfathered from the people we bought the property from. So ours is about $1,000 a year. Whereas, and it tells you on the thing, if we didn't have the grandfather, it would be $6,500 a year. I mean, shit, I live in a Gulf of America. So, I mean, the Gulf of America is literally 150 yards from my back door. There's a bayou in the Gulf.
But you're also, I don't know exactly your sea level, but I believe that whole Gulf Coast region is about 8 to 10 feet.
Well, see, that's what's so weird about here. So past Christian is actually 15 feet above flood level.
Oh, okay.
But where I live, it's 5. Yeah, well, where I live, it's 6 feet below sea level.
Yeah.
So you can actually tell by walking out my door. You can look at through the neighborhood and see the difference in my neighborhood versus others. And it depends where you are on the coast. I mean, hey, Michelle, it really just depends where you are on the coast on how high it's going to be or how low it is. Now, almost all of New Orleans is under sea level, but the old city and uptown is not. It's above sea level by 2 or 3 feet. Other than that, everything else is under by 3 or 4 to 5 feet, depending where you happen to be. It's a very strange thing to watch. I mean, right now it is raining like a biatch. Y'all can't hear, but it's raining like a biatch outside.
Yeah, we're in sort of an eye of the storm, but it was coming down torrentially.
And the bad part about this is probably most of the storm is going to mingle its way up to y'all.
Yeah, probably.
A lot of the weather that comes out of the Gulf heads up north. It'll usually hit somewhere. It just and it kind of tilts, so it'll catch the edge of Illinois and then run up on through Pittsburgh and New York and whatever happens to be in between, so all the little states in between us. It's a bitch. But it's part of living in the United States. I was talking to a wealthy friend of mine the other day, and she was telling me, she's like, well, I'm just in the fun. I said, what are you talking about? I said, you should always be prepared. If you live in the United States, I said, we have volcanoes going off. So we have hurricanes coming. The West Coast is overdue for a hurricane. And then we never know if we're going to get nuked. I said, living here is not what people think it is. It's beautiful and it's great, but you always have to take in consideration there is an added danger to living here. Just like out when you're living in California, you never know when the ground's going to go psh, and suck your ass up. I mean, you just don't know.
Joe Fox is asking you, Joe, would you still live there if you weren't grandfathered in and had to pay the $5,000 plus?
Well, so my homeowners is $400 to $500 a month. My wind and hail can be anywhere from $6,000 to $16,000. And no, I'm not going to move. My wind and hail this year is going to be $800 a month across 5 months, and then it's paid. And that's only because we haven't made any claims in the last 5 years. Now, if I would have, it would have been about $12,000 this year. Now, they would have been sweet and broke it up over 12 months. So it would have been $1,000 a month. But still, man, I mean, if you're rich, I'm a poor person. I can't be affording all this kind of stuff. But still, it's such a beautiful place to live. It's hard to move just because of that. As long as I can afford it, I'll be here. I mean, if I ever get to the point where I can't afford it, I won't. But when I originally started, my flood was $400 a month. Now my flood is $400 a year. Now my flood's $1,000 a year. So it shows you how it goes up. Yeah. My wind and hail and my wind and hail and my homeowners combined was only $3,000 a year. That's tripled. It's insane, but when you live on the water, you have to pay for it. Justin. Yeah, when you live, I mean, I live on stilts. So when this tropical depression comes through, it's going to push about 3 to 4 feet of water into my yard. I'll take a picture. I've posted many pictures on Facebook, but
Oh, well, the best you ever showed on Facebook was when you had that hailstorm. My God. I mean, it
yeah,
was popping out of your. I mean, it looked like there was like little white balls of crickets going bleep bleep bleep,
here, listen,
coming out of the sky.
yeah, and well, I put a picture up of Zeta. Zeta had 9 foot of water underneath my house. Now my house is only 10 foot tall. Okay, so you could see it. I had the camera aimed so you could see the water rushing, just barely missing the bottom of my house. But an hour before that, when it was about 8 foot, when it was about 6 foot, I had a double door refrigerator down there, and it just popped up. The doors opened up like a catamaran. It took off to the side of the house. Then it took up a left, went up to my street on Mimosa. Took another left, went up to the main street, took a right, and went cruising down the main street for 2.5 miles before it ran aground.
You had to run 2.5 miles to retrieve your beer. Ooh, what happened to you? You went all silenty and stuff. Maybe something happened to me. Well, I think we might have lost Joe Montalto's feed. He just froze up. You there, dude? Yeah. I guess not. So let's read. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Silent and dark. Well, I don't know if he can even see or hear us. Let me see if I remove the comment. Maybe that'll change things. No help. Yeah, there we go. So he'll have to pop back in. He may have lost power having a storm down there. Let's see what he's got as the subject today. I mean, I really just literally came in off the street from work. UFO undercover. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, he is having storms, Joe. Yeah, we are too. So, yeah, I mean, the way his screen froze up, I think he's lost power. So UFOs, gods, and extraterrestrials. What's real? What came first? Did ET create man? Well, what's real? They talk about that in the Matrix movies. What you see, what you can taste, what you can hear, what you can smell, what you can feel, that's what is reality to you. So if your senses tell you it's real, they're probably correct. Therefore, look, my argument has always been with the Sumerians, our language is like the hardest thing to overcome. We have 200 and something 13 languages or more on this planet, and all of them have different syntaxes and different grammatical structuring and all that kind of stuff, and it makes it very hard for the whole planet to have the same idea. But when the whole planet has the same ideas and they haven't had contact with each other, and they draw pictures of UFOs and pictures of weird beings with like lizard faces and, for lack of a better terms, spacesuits. The Dogu figures of Japan, everyone calls them, ancient astronauts. They're not. I believe that creature came from the Jomon say that the Dogu came from under the oceans. They came from out of the oceans, just like the Dogon with the Nomu coming out of the oceans in Africa and teaching them. These people have the same images. It's the exact same idol. Therefore, it must be real. Did the ETs come first? Did they create the solar system? Now, that's the tough one. I do have the Urantia book up top, and I'm very dyslexic, so reading for me is hard to begin with. And I have attempted to read that book several times. It has a canter or like a rhyming, whatever you call it, when you have a rhyming type of stuff in a poem. It has that kind of flow to it. It reads and sounds very like the Old Testaments of the Bible, but it's a channeled information to a man in New York from the 20s or 30s, and basically it's a race of people that say that they're responsible for creating not only this solar system and us, but also our galaxy and the greater universe beyond. But I haven't been able to get past the first few, I wouldn't even say chapters. It's a very difficult book to read. Is that real? I would say that's more than likely bull honkery, but you don't know. At the time, with the knowledge we have, the Urantia book is an unknown. I just put it in the unknown category, but it has some intriguing ideas and information. I don't know if you can call it information, but it's if you're an adept reader, it might not be a bad read for you. But so let's go back to the Sumerians. Sumerians created the first written language, cuneiform. And it's a very difficult language to read, but we have 100% translated it from the triangular shapes that it is into actual modern day words. They invented that language about 5,500 BCE, a little over 8,000 years ago, a little less than 8,000 years ago. But the very first thing they write is the Enuma Elish, is their Bible, really, the creation myth story of how we came to be from visitors from space. They don't actually say space, but visitors from above. Now, the word Anunnaki, I'm going to debunk this for hopefully for the last time. People on this network will know it, but maybe others don't, but pass the word on. Anunnaki does not mean those who from the heavens came upon earth. That's bunch of bull. The actual word Anunnaki is two words, and I'm not sure what language. It might be the actual name in their language that the Anunnaki call themselves, but they pronounce it and spell it differently, and I think it's called Anunnakene. But anyway, the Anunnaki, two words. It's Anu, that's the chief god of the chief alien of the Anunnaki, and Naki. And I did a lot of research on this, and all I could find out about Naki was that there were several words that were reminiscent of nativity scene, like having to do with birth or bloodlines. So therefore, Anunnaki means of the bloodlines of Anu, or of the sons of Anu, is how I'd translate it. And so do a few others. Why would you write this science fiction story? I mean, it's like basically like Darth Vader comes to Earth with his two sons and blows up the planet. Why would you invent language and then write this immediately for people that can't even read it yet? It doesn't make any sense. So therefore, this story cannot be myth. Well, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense how a primitive hunter-gatherer race, which is what we were supposed to be just prior to this, and then all of a sudden we have two domed cities, and we're writing science fiction stories about men and creatures and monsters from outer space. There are two conclusions. It's either a brilliant fiction, should be a movie, or it actually happened. Seem to think that the latter is more what it is that actually happened. Those events literally happened. We know the flood happened. There's evidence across the entire 7 continents. Well, we don't know about Australia, but it probably affected Australia too. And maybe that's why Australia has ice, is that it was flooded, and those floodwaters perhaps were flash frozen in situ, and now we have a frozen solar pole with the largest continent underneath of it. It's got to be real. Can't be anything else. People of that time, we weren't even back then, and I can't say for sure they didn't have a great imagination. Maybe they did, but it doesn't make sense that people who just came from wandering the deserts and valleys and vistas of Africa would all of a sudden write Star Wars. Makes absolutely no sense. So, Anunnaki visitation is real. When did they get here? That's a huge debate. Zachariah Sitchin did some pretty good work with the 12th Planet series, but I wouldn't call him a linguist. Yeah, there are. That's a good point, Mish. So we know the flood happened because there's certain layers in the geological record where we can see that. We know the Earth has been hit by several meteors, and significant ones, that it left an iridium layer, which is something that is very rare on Earth, but abundant on meteors in outer space, especially in our asteroid belt. All of this we can tie into a time frame. The Lake Titicaca in Bolivia is the highest. It's actually brackish, but they call it a freshwater lake, highest navigable freshwater lake. But it has seashells, millions of ancient seashells as its sandbar all around it. The beach all around it is fossils, and the very advanced buildings that are there were destroyed somehow. I mean, they're knocked over. Like, if you ever destroyed a Lego building, there's Lego bricks all over the plain up there. What do they call it? The Altiplano is the area. Something knocked those buildings over, A, and B, something deposited billions and billions of fossilized seashells, to create a beach and a brackish freshwater lake. It really happened. Welcome back, Joe. We thought you'd lost power.
Oh yeah, the power went out. It was a big bright blue flash and the power went out. Then I was watching the modem come on, which was taking a sweet time. And then the fucking excuse my language, the computer didn't want to come on. It was like I had to unplug it, replug it. It was like it was not having it. It was having issues, but it's working fine now. That's a Dell for you. What can you expect? It's an expensive Dell, but still. It's and with this trigeminal algae, I got to watch it because it kicks off, man. It's so much fucking pain. It's unbelievable. Excuse my language again. I must have been really bad in my last life to get this, Billy. It's hard to explain, but it's uncurable disease that sets off. See, for me, it's on the right side. So from here all the way to here, it kicks off every nerve in my face. Yeah, the doctors call it the suicide disease because so many people commit suicide who get it. Yes. It's a horrible disease. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. For me, I'm kind of lucky in the fact that I only get it every 18 months. Some people have to live with it daily. The daily kind, it likes, like if you do like this, it'll set it off at 5 or 8 minutes, like electrical shock going through your whole body. For me, it's different. When I get it, I can get anywhere from a half hour to 2 hours, just intense throbbing pain in every nerve in your face. And they can't really cure it because people, they can go to your spinal cord. No, it's not actually in your spinal cord. It's above it. So they have to drill into your brain, into the casing around your brain, and either use a gamma knife to numb out the nerve. Not only lasts about 2 years, or they have to put a pillow in there to keep the two from hitting each other. And that'll last for about 12 years, but that's all kind of major surgery. Anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months in the hospital, at least 5 or 6 months recovery time. Now I'm retired, and I can take recover, but it's just, well, you can't do anything because if you do anything that pops that cap they put in there and where they drilled a hole into the casing, you're dead. All your fluid drains out your brain, you're just dead. So yeah, and then they work with different medicines. And some work better than others, but you see, like, a lot of my friends who have this or people I've met who have it smoke pot. I can't smoke pot. If I smoke pot, it triggers it. And it triggers it intensely. It makes, like, I guess because it kicks them nerves and, man, I want to get up and shoot somebody. So, like I said, I wouldn't wish this on my, and it'll, in a couple of weeks it'll be gone, and then it'll be 18 months before it comes back. The doctor, that's how it's been working anyway for the last 8 or 10 years. The bitch part is that for the first 4 years I had it, I didn't know I had it. I thought it was dental problems, that were making my upper dental problems, making my eye hurt and stuff. Dentist did all kind of dentist work, all to sue his ass. And that's never what it was. It was just other thing. Oh yeah, it sucks, people. Sometimes a massage will help. Sometimes a hot rag will help. If I catch it early enough when it first starts hot and throw a hot rag on my face and massage it, it only lasts about half an hour. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. That's shit we can talk about on another show. Maybe we'll get in depth on one of these shows coming up. And the bitch part, it usually only goes to women. This is the third thing I've got that only women usually get. I must have been a woman in my last life, is all I can say. I feel for you ladies, the suffering y'all have to go through. I really do. Anyway, enough about all that. So first off, before we even get into anything, what's this new blood type everybody keeps telling me about?
What?
Yeah, I keep hearing about a new blood type, and I think it's bullshit. But I'm gonna check into it because it can't be any new RH factors. There's only two RH factors. It's positive and negative. So it can't
neutral.
You know. So and somebody said, "Oh, it's this or that." Another thing, I said, "No." I said I've never heard of any of that. And I keep up on this pretty close because it's one of the big studies we use at ICAR to find contactees.
Well, if there's a new blood type, what species is it coming from?
Well, they're talking about humans have a new blood type.
We can't just fucking change blood types.
Blood type test ABO grouping and RH typing. Yeah, see, they're not saying anything about a new group. Let's see. About our blood type test ABO grouping and RH typing. Yes, we already know about all of that. And we know about all that. Yeah, it's the A, B, and O. That's I don't know where they're getting this new shit from. See, what happens with this is these conspiracy people pick this kind of shit up. And they run with it.
Kind of shit up.
And it's not true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of friends who work in conspiracy stuff.
Okay, here I got something from the Smithsonian Magazine. Guada negative. GWADA. Guada negative. Now, scientists say the woman is the only known carrier of a new blood type called Guada negative. It's the only blood type within a new blood group system that scientists have dubbed Pig Z.
Pig Z?
Capital P-I-G, capital Z. Which is now the 48th known blood group system in humans. 48?
Yeah, that's absolute bullshit. I can tell you now, that's absolute bullshit.
The French
that would have made news everywhere.
Week. And this just came out June 24th.
And that's a problem with some of this stuff. You read articles on it, but if it was true, it would be all over mainstream science. Because it would change the way we looked at science.
Live science. She's the only person in the world compatible with herself.
And that would really be strange since RH negative is compatible with everything. You'd have to kind of wonder, what is that about? Is she some kind of grown person? Like a clone or something? I mean, you have to wonder about all of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, now what is my phone yapping about? Let me turn it down. And it says Athens blood type.
Some 68-year-old lady is the only known person in the world to have this blood group.
Oh, ain't that sweet? Turn this noisy thing down. Let's see, the Athens lab blood type testing they're saying any other blood type than the ones we have are bullshit. They say it's fake.
Yeah, I don't know the difference between a blood type and a blood group is, but that would say where they're calling it. It's a new blood group.
Okay. Oh yeah, here you go. French scientists have discovered a new blood type in a woman. That's the one you're talking about from the Caribbean island of Galapagos. Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, French blood supply agencies announced Friday that the woman is the only carrier of the new blood type dubbed Guada negative in the French blood. Okay, guys, y'all don't get upset if I call bullshit on this, okay? Until I see something more positive than this. This is let's see how many doctors who wrote off on this. Oh, it's on CBS News anyway. So how can you does she have kids?
I didn't read that much. She's only.
I haven't seen what it says. That's what I'm saying.
I think I closed it. Let me see if I can get it up again.
15 years after researchers receive a blood sample wait a minute.
Yeah.
The woman is only known carrier of the new blood type dubbed Guada negative. The French blood establishes EFS said that The discovery was made 15 years after researchers received a blood sample from the patient. What?
Yeah, this sounds like it's a stretch, but I'm not seeing
15 years. 15
kids.
years. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
imagine she doesn't if she's the only one that has the blood group, because her kids would have it if she did.
Well, she's in her 60s, right?
68 years old. So it's very unlikely that she will have kids.
Scientists Association have until now recognized 47 blood group system. And since when is that? I don't know anything about any 47 blood groups. I know about A, B, O, and O. Or A and B and O. I mean, that's as far as I know in RH and RH positive. And what was she? Was she a positive or a negative? That still wouldn't be different. Even if it's a new blood, it should still be an RH positive, RH negative. Let's see. A very unusual antibody was first found in the patient in 2011. However, resources at the time did not allow for further research to be added. That's a DNA sequence in which is highlighted genetic mutation. This one says she may have been exposed to a radiation source. And she was 54 at the time and lived in Paris. Was undergoing routine tests for surgery when the unknown. Okay, now how did she have surgery if they needed blood?
I have no idea.
She is the only person in the world who is compatible with herself.
15 years ago, she would have been 53.
It said 57 on here. Oh, 54. Yeah, close enough. You're right. The medical biologist said the woman inherited the blood type from her father and mother, who each had a mutated gene. Okay, and what was her father and mother exposed to? The ABO blood group system was the first discovered in early 1900s. Thanks to DNA sequencing discovered in new blood groups have accelerated in recent years. What's the new blood groups?
American biologist Dr. Carl Landsteiner, who identified it, also won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1930 for this.
Yeah, something's stinking up around here. Well, it's saying 47 blood groups, but I've never heard of it. I've never heard of anything other than A, B.
Hey, Steve.
And, I'm just something. So I want to know what the 47 blood groups are. Where's my damn computer at when you need it? Oh, there it is. Let's see if I can find it. So I got 5,000 things open as usual. Let's see. Here we go. 47 blood types. Let's see what it tells me.
Wikipedia blood type comes up right away. The first hit. How many blood types? What is there a difference between types and groups? I mean, I don't really get it.
Let's see. As of 2024, International Society of Blood Transfusion recognized 27 blood group systems.
And here's an article from September 2024. Researchers discover a new blood group system, MAL. There are now 47 recognized blood groups. So apparently they discovered another new one a little over a year ago.
And it says each of the blood group systems contain multi-blood types, just as so it's like ABO. So that's just ignorant. So they're using the four groups.
Blood group systems. Let's see what this is.
So they're basically taking the ones that are here and recombining them into other stuff.
Page 1 of 3. So there's 3
Well, that's
pages.
crazy. That's just crazy. So there's no way a hospital could even contain this kind of stuff. But yet they can treat anybody. So this is so what they've basically done is they've done the ABO blood group. They didn't have that before. It was just AB.
Yeah. So yeah, well, they have. There's a list here of 48, and they have that one, that new one on there, which is Pig Z. But yeah, wow. There's also a. Let me see if I can download this.
Something ain't quite right with all of this stuff.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Let's look at this. Where's the damn? They changed the buttons again, and I'm still not used to these new buttons. All right, share screen. Table of blood group systems. Oh, that automatically came up. I got to turn that off. I hate that shit. All right. So number 1 is ABO. Can everybody see that? MNS. So these mean nothing. There's one for Lutheran. Cal, Lewis, Duffy. I guess these are family bloodlines. Kid, Diego. I don't. Maybe we should get a scientist in here to help us figure these out. We got a YT and an XG. It's got to be like, maybe they're calling out chromosomes. Maybe, Joe.
I guess because it's not anything. See, because when I'm looking over here, it's saying, let's see, African American, 47%, Asian, 39% Caucasian, 37% Latino, 53%. That's O negative. I mean, that's not O negative. That's okay. O negative. It says African American 4%, Asian 1%.
Oh, okay.
Caucasian 8%, Latinos 4%. A positive. This is basically the whole world's group right here. Yeah. So what are these other ones? I mean, this doesn't make any sense.
These 47 things. What some of those 3-letter names and numbers is the gene, the main gene that is, I guess, prominent in that blood group.
Because I haven't heard anything where RH negative isn't the universal donor. Yeah. Still, even with this stuff, I haven't heard it.
I think it's still this. I think it's still so, but I mean, there are 48 of these. There's one called Indian. Gee, I wonder where that one comes from.
Let's see, that don't even make any type because that's not how they type blood.
Augustine. Well, I mean, I didn't name them.
No, I'm not cussing at you. I'm just saying.
There's one called John Milton Hagen.
Okay, so why do they give you an RH factor?
Let me see what this thing's at the top. Down here at the bottom, number 16 is Landsteiner Wiener. So we got the number, the system name, the system symbol, the gene names, LRG, I have no idea, number of antigens, chromosomal location, and then CD numbers. So I have no idea what any of that data means.
So let me go back up here to the antigens. Yeah, because when I'm looking at just these right up here, the normal ones, they're looking like they're like 99% of the population. Because they're showing it up here. I mean,
the average on this on antigens is like 1. There's a couple of 5s, a 6, an 8, 28. I'm sorry, 38 and 28. There's a 56, and I think it's the highest one. So maybe that is your RH guy. So that if you under gene names, it says RHD and RHCE, and number 4 is RH. So there's your RH.
So this is showing O positive. African Americans 47%, Asians 39%, Caucasians 37%, Latinos 53%. So that's a pretty big group, and that's just O. Let's drop down to A. African Americans 24%. So what is that? We're at 47 and 24. What is that? 73. So let's go on down to A, or let's go to B, which is 18%. So that's 73%. That's 91%. And then let's drop to the last one, which is, I'm saying, then we go back with the negatives. Yeah, it's I don't know what they're doing. This is 100%. I'm really confused. And they haven't changed this any, so this isn't so they must be somehow related to these blood types. That's all I can think is they're an offshoot of each one of these blood types. Or this would change. These numbers would have changed, and they're not changing.
Well, I'm not really sure what this chart we have up really means either. But there are those are the 48 different
Let me see if
blood
I can
groups,
pop it.
which clearly is different from blood types.
Yes.
So
this is
very interesting.
whoops. Let's do this a different way. Wait, what happened here? Let's try this a different way. Where was I? Let's see. I'll just change the wording to blood types, not blood groups. Wait, if I can get out of here. I'm like 5 million things in front of me here for some reason. I'll leave that one open. Okay. Yeah, no, it says 47 blood types.
Yeah.
But then when you get to reading, it says 47 blood groups.
Yeah. Someone in the media is flipping two words that shouldn't be flipped. Oh, yeah. Hey, just stick around, Steve. Don't forget about that question. Steve wanted to ask a question about something he saw on my Facebook earlier, but yeah, there's only 4 or 5 the types. I mean, this is the first we ever heard of blood groups. So, maybe we should do some further research on it. But it sounds like the groups are probably based on territory. Like, I'll bet you one of those 47 is mostly Europe. One is mostly, just like you said, how like certain blood types were 25% this and 25% that. I'll bet you it's just like that with the blood groups. I'll bet you one is Europe, one is America, one is Asia, or several.
Okay, so many people know where it fit into the classic ABO blood type in. Well, basically, this says it's different, but it's the same. So, in other words, whatever it is has an antigen like an A, B, or O in it. So I guess maybe there's something else in it besides
gene
that.
names are some of this. Like the first one is ABO. Its system symbol is ABO, capital ABO, all caps. Then the G name is ABO, and then it goes into numbers.
Okay. Oh, you know what? A better question would be, let's see, where'd it go? I wish I had this thing set on voice. I don't have it set on voice. Let's see. You know what? Where's the phone at? We'll do it. Yeah, let me look on this one. This can cheat. Let's see. Is the universal donor Rh negative good for all 47 blood types? Let's see what it's got to say. So it says no.
Huh. Hey, Google, what is the universal blood type for donating blood?
O negative donors.
O negative.
On the website blood.co.uk.
Yeah, so this says no, the universal donor Rh negative blood. It says no, the universal donor Rh negative blood 0 negative is not compatible with all 47 blood types, but it is compatible with all blood types in the ABO Rh system.
Yeah. So
that's 99% of all blood types.
Let me go back to that chart real quick. So there's one ABO, one RH.
The latest blood type Rahul lacking all Rh negative antigens. Well, so does O no negative. So what the hell?
Guess what, Joe? There are only 2 blood groups that Rh negative is the universal donor for it, and that is number 1 ABO and number 4 RH.
Well, RH just means Reese's monkey.
And listen to this. RH has the highest number of antigens at 56, while ABO has one of the more average ones at 4.
Let's see.
And I don't know what that means, but it must be significant.
Let's see. In emergency situations, O negative blood is preferred for all transfusions. Oh, here we go again. It contradicts itself, and it clearly says for all transfusion, because it's compatible with the vast majority of all blood types. So some of this is not. It's contradicting itself. In a non-emergency situation, blood is typically cross-match tested and to ensure the best match. But O negative is always good in a pinch or a bind for all blood groups. Damn, it's bad out there. My dogs are about to crawl up my ass.
Oh no.
So this is a problem, okay? Because RH means Reese's monkey, which the O negative don't have, but the O positive does. So that would have to mean if these blood groups didn't have RH, then they're not from this planet. Just like they always thought O negative may have come from somewhere else, these other groups may come from somewhere else. Because that's the basic foundation of us on this planet is RH positive.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this several times that we're fairly certain we share the blood and or not necessarily the blood, but at least the genetics of the reptilians, the greys, probably the mantids, and the few human species.
Now, when I go to the donor chart, it says RH negative is 7%. On here, it's saying it's 15%. I mean, these people can't make up their mind about shit.
I think 7% is probably when it was first discovered. 15% is probably closer to it. But I mean,
no, I'm looking at two different charts, both done in 2024.
Oh,
because that would have mean ABO would have moved away from 1% and 2%.
Is it news media or medical websites?
This is medical websites, and they're contradicting each other.
That's not surprising.
What is the unhealthiest blood type? Blood types A, B, and AB. A and B and AB are associated with slightly higher risks of certain health conditions. Preferred blood type O is significantly healthier people than all blood types. So even the new ones, it's still healthier.
Exactly how many blood types do we have, Joe?
This is saying we have 47.
No, that's groups.
No, it's saying types on here.
Oh shit!
See, that's what I'm kind of confused with you on how this is done. Which two blood groups cannot marry RH factor? Oh, let's see what that is.
Well, Submission's wondering which the different alien races have different blood types. And I was going to think, if there are 4 to 5, then we probably have 4 to 5 blood types.
Let's see the group option: RH male and RH female factor. Let's see, protein flood AB, what does not carry. So this is saying that again, RH negative is combinable with 45 of the 47 groups. See, it just gets confusing as you go along. I don't think they know is what the problem is.
Oh, so there are 8 main blood types: A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, AB positive, AB negative, O positive, and O negative. So I guess within those different types, you get the different groups, because then it says in addition to ABO and RH, there are 34 other recognized blood types called blood group systems. So
what blood types you think live the longest?
O negative.
Oh, just O. It says just O. That's all it says. It didn't say negative or positive.
So both.
Blood type O may have an advantage in terms of longevity. Studies have indicated at low risk of heart attack and blood clots in people with O blood. Even lower risk of cancer in O blood.
And AB negative is the one that has the most susceptibilities.
Yeah, but we don't know about these new ones we're talking about, like the golden blood.
Well, I mean, this is the Australian Academy of Science explaining blood types, and it clearly says that there are 34 other recognized blood types called blood group systems, which I'm assuming are people that are of a certain blood group that just keep intermingling within that blood group. Like all B negative or all A positive, something like that.
So if you're type A, mosquitoes hate you.
Yeah.
Don't ask me, man. I'm just telling you. Oh, here we go. What's this one? What blood types are the most millionaires? Oh, shit. Blood type B have the most millionaires.
Really?
Yes. You notice they don't mention any of these other new ones in any of this. And it's on this page.
Let's try this. Who are the smartest?
Oh, let's see what these guys got to say. Where did RH negative come from? Say RH negative blood type thought to have originated from a genetic mutation that occurred in early humans 40 or 50,000 years ago.
Which blood type has a higher IQ? Let's find out. Ooh, AB blood.
That would make sense.
Hmm.
That would make sense. It's a rare blood. Let's see where this is. Potentially before modern human populations, it's not a result of interbreeding with the Netherlands or a humanoid species. I like how to use the word humanoid species. The mutation likely arose from a deletion in a RHD gene, which is responsible for the RHD antigenogen gene on the blood cells. They have no idea. They still don't have any idea where RH negative came from. It's amazing to me. Not from the Netherlands. They just have no idea. Which group has the strongest immunity system? O positive. Less likely to be killed by a virus or any sort of thing like that. And apparently these new groups ain't made it now. Here we go. What was Jesus' blood type? How the hell did they know that? Anybody listening to this show, how the hell they knew what Jesus' blood type was?
How do they know?
Let's see. So, Shroud of Turin has been reported to have AB positive. Okay. I would have thought he would have had some kind of blood that nobody's ever heard of. Like the golden blood. That's what they tried to say he had. Ask what you got Google by it? Or I don't know. She's in the front. Ask Google what the golden blood is.
Hey Google, what is the golden blood?
On the website blood.ca, they say, the rarest blood type in the world is known as golden blood type, and fewer than 50 people in the world have it. People with the golden blood type or Rh-null blood group have no Rh antigens on their red blood cells.
Huh. There you go.
Whatever the hell that means.
No idea. This stuff is over my
head. Well, if they don't have any Rh, they probably can't take Rh negative. Well, I imagine it can be converted, but okay. Now this one says Jesus had O negative blood.
How do they know that?
Nah, they have not. Now you see on this other page, they think he had AB negative. The other one said he had AB positive. This is samples taken off the Shroud of Turin, which we already know didn't date right.
Well, I think part of the reason why it doesn't date right is that it was be caught on fire, which I think
it's much more than that. Because they didn't just use carbon dating on it. They dated the colors on it. They dated the radiation on it. And all that is way before Jesus.
Well, yeah, they did find out that it was restored in the 12th century because they added some new fabric to overlay the burnt away parts, and they also painted on it.
Yeah, well, all of this, the fabric, the carbon, and a couple other things they found would date way before Christ, like 3,000 years before. So they're gonna have a hard time getting around that one.
Yeah.
And even they still don't know what created it. A lot of people think it was painted. Some people say, "Oh, it was a radiation that did it," but no one's found any radiation in the cloth to make it plausible. Then some people said it was some type of light that was given off by the body that burned it into it, but there's no scorching or no marks in it.
Well, I mean, the image is burned into the fabric if it went that way.
It's a hard one.
But I mean, it's still intriguing.
Yeah,
I put the Shroud of Turin in like still the the unknown category. But when they did the X-ray and infrared studies on it, they found that there was a tomography, and they actually made a 3D model of the figure that's inside the Turin. The shroud.
And
Which I thought
then,
was fascinating. I don't know if you remember seeing that part, or if you even seen that video.
and then there's another problem. The biggest problem about the Shroud of Turin is his face.
It's European.
Yes, it is. It's not Middle Eastern. So that would have meant that Mary maybe messed around with a Roman. So remember, she got lost in the desert for 3 months, and Rome had a bunch of soldiers out there. So yeah, people, don't forget that. It wasn't like Jesus came down or God came down and did her. She was lost in the desert for 3 months and came back pregnant. So if she wouldn't have used it, so remember this, if she wouldn't have used the Jesus story, she'd have been stoned to death. That's how they handle that stuff back then. So is it true? Is it not? Is this whole religion based on a woman who got raped and lied? See, we don't know. It is very possible. So, now by saying that, we did know that Jesus was around a lot of places. You and I did a show on this not too long ago where we showed how many different places he went. He was in several places in Rome. He was in the old Mesopotamia. He was in the Persian part. And then he was, that's all the time he was going, because he's another one that was going for quite a long time. He went and studied with the Buddhists. He was all over the place. Yeah, but remember this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important part of this. The only place they said he performed miracles was where he originally came from. None of the other places they said that he performed miracles. None of the other places.
That's correct.
So then you got another problem with that. And he could have been an astronaut too. Let's not rule that out.
The Bible, though, he disappears for at least 24 years, probably more. When he comes back, he's in his 30s.
Yeah, that's the years we were tracking. Well, no, you see, that's another problem I always had. So he was gone for 24 years, but they said he didn't leave till he was a man, which means he was 20. So that means it would have been 44 when he came home. Everybody kind of forgets that. He didn't leave at 12 years old and go out into the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember, he would have had 20 years or 24 years. That means he'd have been thrown out of his house at 12. We know better. That's not true. We have the stories of Joseph. So he was like 20-something. He was a grown man when he left. So that means Jesus is older than we think he is. I don't know why they're stuck on this 30-something year thing. I would think he was in his mid-40s when he came home.
They're going off based on mainly scholars believe if Jesus was a real person, that he was probably born sometime in the first century BCE, between 4 and 7 BCE, and he probably died somewhere in his mid to late 30s. That is the ongoing consensus for his lifespan.
But then look at that face of that person. You see that person is definitely older than 30s. He looks closer to his 50s. So that's another problem.
He's also very tall, and people in the Middle East aren't very tall. Isn't the figure depicted on the shot anything like 6'1"?
Yeah, and it's different. Even though it's the same cloth and it's open, the heights are different on each side. So you can clearly see the one on the right side is 6 inches taller than the one on the left side, which would have put him in like the 6'4", 6'5" category, which was almost unheard of back then. So I mean, it's a lot of stuff to it that you just got to start and kind of wonder. What are you talking
Well,
about,
and
Christopher?
the
I'm
other
not
thing is,
anti-Jesus. We're just
if
trying
it
to
is
get
a
to the truth
legitimate
of the
item,
shroud.
but the other shocking thing is, if it is the legitimate item, that means all the statues and crucifixes of Jesus are accurate because they all portray a European face with a long beard and long hair.
Yeah. So, but he should have been much darker in color.
Yes.
So I don't know.
And probably a little stockier, and it would probably have a much more prominent nose.
Yes, there just seems to be, and his hair isn't all curly and kinky.
He
there,
would look more like Jamie Farr from MASH than he would the guy who played Hawkeye.
yeah, and then so we got that issue as well. So that's one of the problems with the shroud. There seems to be, we talked about this the other day, but there seems to be multiple problems with it. That's what kind of makes me think maybe it was fake, because someone didn't accurately make everything correct. Even though they were smart and they knew about, nailing through the wrist and nailing through the ankles, they knew about that, which means that somebody who's observed a crucifix, someone being crucified before,
or had access to human cadavers and had done studies with them.
Yeah, well, that's true too. We can't rule that little section out too. Look, Chris, we don't fight about this kind of stuff because we don't know. Jay and I talk about this a lot.
There's some pigmentation on it from that study. We know there's some pigmentation on it. They like, particularly the blood stains were painted over to enhance them. But if it was the legitimate article, and when they did the restoration and they made the painting to enhance it, make it look better, they may have ruined any chance of actually getting Jesus's DNA if that's the case. But I don't think we're ever going to find out if it's a legitimate article or not, because it's been burned. I mean, I think most of the evidence that would have been
that's not enough of an excuse, because
reviewable.
even if it would have been burned, some of the weaves would have still been clean, because they were woven pretty tight. So there's definitely places you could have got samples that weren't contaminated.
Possibly.
And they actually said that they said there was ample places to get that weren't contaminated. And so they're putting it at least 3,000 years older than what they said it was originally.
Well, the video we're talking about, I forget the name of it. You know that one of the guys in it, they basically said that what they were holding in their hands was probably a product of the 12th century, a replica of it.
Well, that's possible too. So I mean, there was lots of, back in the day you could have picked up, but this is another kicker that no one talks about. The actual weave was only done from about 3600 BC to 2800 BC. After that, they didn't make that weave anymore.
Yeah,
so we know the cloth came from there. No matter what they want to argue about, we know the cloth came from there. Now there has been
made there or made in that style.
Well, no, it's something to do with the actual material. They couldn't find it in any other time period. But the reason there's always been argument about it, because I mean, you could have found bundles of material anywhere, even old stuff like that. I bet you could have still found it back then, because even today you can go back and find old materials. You know that as well as I do. So we know that kind of stuff could have been found. So the real problem is we can't. There's whatever produced the image isn't a paint. There's no way to carbon date it. It's just not a paint. They don't know what it is. They at first they thought it was radiation, so they ran it through this machine and said it wasn't radiation. They think maybe it was some kind of light burst of some kind. So this is the real problem with the Shrouded Tour. Everyone who worked on it was a Christian, and the Vatican guards it closely. So no objective scientists have ever got to work on this thing. And I guarantee you, if they ever get to, it's going to really upset a lot of people.
They're going to probably come to the conclusion it's a product of the 12th century.
They might conclude it's 3000 BC.
The intriguing thing that everyone
that's 5,000 years. It could be anywhere in that time frame. That's crazy.
There is a unique anomaly to the shroud when they subjected it to the infrared and X-ray scans. They also took pictures of it, and under those filters, it looks like a legitimate emulsion film negative. Without question. It looks
And think about what you're saying.
A lot of detail does come out when you do the reverse.
Oh, there is a lot of so, but think about what you're saying. Then why are the things not added? Why don't they match each? It's not even just his body. The little things on the side, the spears and all, they don't line up.
Well, okay, so the
They're
reason
off.
for that is at least for the distance and the height is people don't account for it. It's a shroud. It's one piece of cloth that goes from his feet over his head and then down his back. So it's got his face, then it's got the top of his head, and then it's got the other side of his head. The back.
That's not how you do it. You go from right here.
The side is longer.
No, if you go from right here, not from the top of his head, but if you go from right here and you pull straight across, it's a good 4 or 5 inches taller. And that's not the top of your head. It's not going to be 4 or 5 inches taller. It may be 1 or 2, but it's not going to be 4 or 5. I mean, I can look at mine right here. Let's see. That would be mine. Would be 1.5 inches. So it's not going to be that tall. That's an unusual difference.
Dimensionally. So the cloth goes up and over. So this whole area, that whole diameter, is about 10 or 8 inches.
But that's not where you're measuring it from. You're measuring it from the forehead to where it starts at the base of his head and the back, not in the top.
Then they're getting.
That's what I'm saying. It's 4 or 5 inches taller. That something is not right, and it's not just that. The feet are different, and the spears are different. So even if you want to say it made a difference on his head, the spears are different. The same spears, different heights, and there wouldn't have been nothing wrapped around. And we're talking mid-level. The spears are different heights.
That's why
it doesn't make any sense.
Believe that it is what it is. I put it in the unknown category. Like I said, it's not. There's not enough conclusive evidence to say.
No, I think there's plenty enough conclusive evidence that it's not Jesus.
I don't think there ever will be. I think the real evidence has been destroyed by the fire. And even if you were to test the undamaged fabric parts, all you're going to find out is that fabric was made.
They just wants it to be Jesus. That's all. It's more than likely, if it was anybody, it's a freaking extraterrestrial. Who come walking out of it.
Well, and then the type of radiation that causes the image.
I got something for you. So it's just to help you out with this. So they said Jesus' body disappeared. Just disappeared. He came out and he walked, but the body itself was gone.
There are stories of
So wait, let me finish. When they took that, they folded it up and took it out. No one ever talks about his image being on the shroud ever. And matter of fact, no one talked about it till it was found. And remember, there were lots of witnesses there when he came out. It wasn't just one person. When they removed the stone and he came out, there was lots of witnesses.
So
none of them mention a shroud.
They don't. Picture, you have to take the negative over to the photo lab and let them develop it for you. So what if once whatever it was that made him disappear burned the images onto it? Maybe they had to be subjected to some kind of chemical reaction. Perhaps the fire brought the images out. I don't know.
Perhaps it did. But it was hung and then there's a lot of rumors that the shroud was actually destroyed by the people who took it out. So
that's why they're thinking this one is possibly a fake. It's to hide the fact that the real one has been destroyed.
But it doesn't really matter. I mean, look, people, and I'm going to be honest about this. It doesn't matter what Jay and I are saying, whether we agree or disagree. If that shroud makes you feel good, makes you believe, then don't just believe. It's not, it's not important enough. What do you mean, Denise? If you feel comfortable with it and it makes you feel that was Jesus, go for it. But the image is not of someone who lived in the Middle East. I can tell you that now. And his father and his mother was raised in the Middle East as Israelis. And one thing about Israelis, both of them have curly, kinky. They even mentioned his dad having curly, kinky hair. Now, of course, we know Joseph wasn't his real dad, but we also gives you an idea of what was in the Middle East. Now, if you want to go by this, that means his dad, the God, was a Caucasian white with regular hair, which just means he's Caucasian. You know how many people that's going to piss off? Just think about what you're saying here. It's going to piss off everybody in the Middle East, everybody in Africa. It's just going to make a lot of people mad. Not that. See, that's the problem. Maybe God took over a Roman soldier, and that's how he did it. Maybe he just came to him as a person and did it. But whatever he was, or whoever it was, was a Caucasian male, and
there's definitely European,
so
genes on that man's face. Yes.
yeah, so getting and you know every picture you see in every church, he's a white man with long straight hair and a beard.
Yeah, and a long stringy beard too.
He looks like me actually. No, just teasing people. Don't curse me. Don't curse me, people. I was just teasing.
Malnourished on the cross there, Joe.
Yes. Hey, but you see, that's another thing in the picture. He don't really look malnourished. He looks like a pretty healthy man who just whatever happened.
But he always has a yellowish cast to his skin, so meaning he's jaundiced, so he's dehydrated.
That's possible too. Karen, if Jesus makes you feel comfortable, then be with him. I've always said Jesus was an astronaut. I've always said that. I've even lost jobs over, good paying jobs over. I've always said he was an astronaut. And the reason why is I feel like because of what we know was going on back in the day, it just sounds more like that. It just sounds like it. Think about how long he lived on the cross. No one lived that long on the cross.
3 days.
You know, and they had to kill him. And that's the thing. He was still alive when they killed him. They had to kill the man to get him to die. And even then, it didn't seem like he just died right away. Well, that's what they say. Remember the sword they used? Yeah, that has power. Yeah, it was a whatever you call them, long spear thing. With the long, it had the long blade on it and the wooden handle with the things on it.
In modern terms,
there's actually pictures of it. Somewhere,
a giant knife on a stick.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
The is the sphere of Longinus. Longinus is the name of the Roman soldier who allegedly took the spear and thrust it under his rib cage to try to kill him and pop his heart.
Yeah, and the spear has all kind of magical powers. So if you can find it, you're good. A legend, yeah. And then of course Pontius Pilate is immortal. Not just Pontius Pilate, Judas is too.
Killing the son of the Jews' new god, and you become immortal.
But think about this: if none of this would have happened, there wouldn't have been a new religion.
None whatsoever.
That's right. It would have still been the Israeli religion. Muslim would be much bigger. There'd be some other kind of religion, but there wouldn't be the Christian religion as we know it today.
Probably not.
There was a lot of things that had to happen for this to happen. And when you look at the disciples, how they ended up, 4 of them ended up crucified. I think it might have even been more than that.
I mean, there are 2 thieves or murderers that were hung with him. Barnabas was one. I forget what the other one's name is, but they died almost immediately or were pardoned, whatever. But yeah, there was more than Jesus and those 2 men. I think.
Yeah, but I was talking about the disciples, how they ended up, the 12 disciples. And wait, how many books in the New Testament are there? There's not 12.
It's what, 13?
No, I think it's 4.
Oh.
I'd have to go look it for myself. I could holler at Linda because she knows the Bible.
Let's see. We can find out.
She's so there was Psalms. We know there was Genesis. What? Wait, no, Genesis was written by a crazy man in a pot of boiling oil.
Of the books of the King James Version. Let's go.
King James. Oh, now I don't know about no King James Version, but we'll listen and see. No, we'll use it. No, go ahead. We know King James was modified greatly, but we're going to listen.
We're going to do all of them, but you write down all the proper names. So we got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Okay, no, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the disciples, the 12 disciples.
Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth. Why is Ruth in there?
Yeah, see, that's not one.
Samuel 1, Samuel 2, Kings, Chronicles 1 and 2.
Yeah, see, so far we're not doing good here.
Yeah, so that's why you have to. That's why you have to remember the names. I don't know how many are in here.
I think it was Luke, Paul, John, and somebody else. I think that was the 4 that it was. Well, it's been a long time since I've been in church, but I think that's when we were in church. I think that's.
Samuel, I think there's a Joshua too, but anyway.
Yeah, I think the disciples were either 4 or 5. It wasn't 12. I remember that.
Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and this is what you call. All right, Daniel. That's not a.
Oh, that's good, man.
Obadiah, Jonah, Micah. What?
I'm still got the blood type thing open. How the hell I get over here again? I'm sorry.
What do we have here? No men. None of the New Testament. Oh, here we go. This is
I thought you didn't sound right. Go ahead.
King James Bible, New Testament, chapter 1. Matthew, Mark.
Matthew, Luke, Mark, and John.
Yep. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Out of 12.
Out of 12.
I always bother me. Now, if I remember the Catholics correctly,
I think Timothy is one too.
Well, they pulled a lot of them. This is what's so weird about this.
And I think Timothy used to be Tom, as in Doubting Thomas, who was.
So originally, all of them were in there plus
Peter, and then another John.
Yeah. So all of them were in there plus.
And Judah.
For some reason, the church removed them. So if you ever see the original Bible, it's like eighth there compared to the new one.
Council of Nicaea.
You know what you can find.
Councils.
It's not on this computer, but when I get on the other computer, I'll get it up. So I got one from, what do they call them? Not Bibles, they call them something else. But one's from 800 BC, one's from 400 BC, and what it is it's much different than the Bibles we read today. It's much different, and it wasn't in Latin. It was in somewhere in Greek. So it was really strange. What do they call them? Codexes. That's what they call them.
Codices, yeah.
Codexes, yeah. So those are much different than what we do. And James is much different than the original Bible. Remember, King James had it modified, and so he get divorced. So let's not forget that. And so it was definitely modified and it was changed around. So what it looks like, and I can't swear about this because I wasn't there, but it looks like they were messing around with the disciples, putting this one in, taking that one out. And there's also supposed to be a book of Mary, which, and not Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. Yeah, Mary Magdalene is supposed to be a book of Mary Magdalene. So now we didn't get none of that. And there's Bibles with it in there. Or codexes with them in there. We the people, for some reason, we're gonna have to bring a fucking Bible expert on here. Is what we're gonna have to do.
Michael Carter.
And, I know. There's a couple people out there we're gonna have to talk to and bring one on. Not on this show, Glenda. We'll bring them on the chat, or we'll bring them on news. We'll bring them on the chat. Yeah, we'll bring them. No, we can't. It's not really for this type of show. We like to talk about it because a lot of times this stuff ties into extraterrestrial.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. So. Well, the Bible, there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that makes you wonder about ET. And, when I say Jesus was an astronaut, think of it this way. There's no miracles he made back then except for one that I can think of that we can't reproduce today. And it's only been 2,000 years. Give us another 2,000 years and we can reproduce everything that was in it. Everything. Mm-hmm. Give us 2,000 more years after that, we'll be doing things that were never mentioned in the Bible. So is it really an omnipotent super being or is it something else? So that we'll find out. When you die and you go over, Jesus will say, you know what, asshole? I wasn't an astronaut. I was the son of God. You go over there.
And he may still be the son of God and an astronaut. Because
that's quite possible too. Well, think of it this way, Carolyn. If Jesus is the Savior of man and he is truly the Son of God, then that means he's got to be in more religions and more planets. Now, when I met with Monsignor Balducci in D.C., like 12, 14 years ago, and I was talking to him, he said that the Vatican believed that the Greys were on a much higher level spiritually than we were. And that they understood things that we just cannot understand at this point. So spiritually, he thinks they were much, much higher. They also only have a single religion. Actually, all three of the races that visit only have a single religion. And from what they explain, the Vatican explains, they believe in that religion, not in the way we believe in the Christian religion, but a religion that's based.
We got it wrong. They know the answers. We don't.
Yeah, and even that they said they're not 100%, but they are so much further ahead than we are spiritually that it's not funny, which makes sense. I mean, the races, anywhere from 500 million to a billion years older than us. Of course, they're going to know more than we are in all aspects of life. I mean, we're basically just babes in the woods. We're children to the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
Spiritually or not, that they still believe in a super omnipotent being, or maybe they know that it's not quite. Maybe they know it was the light beings. I mean, light being is a god. As far as we're concerned, everything that the Christian God can do, the light beings can do. They can travel through space with thought. They can cure you with thought. They can take you over with thought. There's nothing they can't do with thought. They can build buildings and mountains and create worlds by thought. Sounds like an omnipotent super being to me.
Yeah, and if they did that and they thought of this universe, if you will, what happens if they stop thinking about it?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Well, I don't think they thought about the universe. I think they were created in the universe as part of it. But since then, they've evolved into this race that the only way we can look at them is gods. Now, the Greys understand they're not gods, but the Greys also understand that they can do anything through thought.
Yeah.
And believe me, the Greys are trying to get there themselves. The reptilians and humans are still a good ways off. We're still a good ways off. But the Greys aren't. The Greys are moving in that direction with that big old head that can think about anything. I mean, think about it. The Greys can make you hover. They can pretty much do a lot with their mind power. So, and maybe the Greys understand that this God or the creator of the universe was a God, but also a being at the same time. So maybe they already understand that. So we call it a God because we just don't have another word for it. But maybe they know whatever created the universe isn't a God in the way the Bible explains it, but a God in the sense that they can create through thought.
Well, then why describe God in the Bible the way it is described in the Bible?
Well, they pretty much describe him. Well, the way they describe him in the Bible sounds like a really nasty kind of person. I mean, you think about some of the things he did to some of the people.
Different persons. Sometimes there's a good one, and sometimes there's the bad one. One wants to always kill us. The other one wants to always try to save us.
Well, he might maybe he's got a brother, or maybe he's just vindictive. I mean, because when you listen to a lot of the stories, he's vindictive. Look what he did, Moses. I mean, he put the guy, I can't remember which one it was now, in the pot of boiling oil and threw. I mean, he created the brothers, Cain. And why didn't he wipe out Cain when he killed his brother to sacrifice him? I mean, there's so many things you have to wonder about. Why did he allow for blood sacrifice way back then? And we all hate on like some of the societies that did blood sacrifice, but yet the super being we call God allowed for it back then. So
sometimes demanded it.
I'm a little confused there, people. Remember, one brother was sacrificing sheep and stuff like that, and the other brother said no. Hey, look, I'm just going by what the Bible says. Don't hate on me. You know what? Y'all keep it up. I'm putting Linda on y'all's ass. Miss Pentecostal. Y'all don't even want to go there.
Well, think about
she was Pentecostal for like 30 years.
What about the Eucharist?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. There's so much
ritual cannibalism. It's ritual cannibalism.
There's so much here, and then when you fall into the Mayans, Aztecs, the Toltecs, the Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Mesopotamians. I mean, there is so much blood on our hands in this world, and it's based on what we believe. Think about how many people in this world die in the name of religion.
Millions. Yeah,
the only thing other that beats it is because of territory and money. But I mean, it's right there with it. Look at the Middle Ages.
Warfare, we can kill more quickly, but
I mean, look at the Inquisitions. I mean, look what went on. 500 years of just hate. I mean, it set us back at least 500 years. I mean, because of that, people like Galileo and other brilliant people were scared to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's his name? What's his name? I can't think of his name right now.
Socrates.
Well, there's him, and then there's all of the great artists. But I'm talking about the one that used to scurry, and he's the one who went to France and picked the pig, the white pig and the black pig. He said it was going to be the white pig, and the king told him, make sure you bring out the black pig, but they couldn't. because something was wrong with the black pig, so they had to use the white pig. What is his name? Everybody said he predicted 9/11, which he didn't, but still.
Oh, Nostradamus.
Nostradamus, thank you. I mean, he was held back because of the threat of being killed.
Mm-hmm.
All of these people were held back, like the 4 Ninja Turtle guys. All of them were held back. If y'all don't know who the 4 Ninja Turtle guys are, shame on y'all.
Yeah, you're on the wrong network.
I mean, no, you should know that. I mean, well, maybe you didn't have a kid, but maybe not. It was the most, there was Raffaele, Michelangelo. I mean, these were all people who were brilliant beyond their time that were scared to produce because they may be executed.
Or had to produce in code so as not to be caught.
That happened a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Nostradamus was building flying machines. If that thing would have flew, you don't think they wouldn't have executed his ass?
No, that was Leonardo da Vinci that invented the.
Oh, that was Leonardo. You're right. Sorry. Well, they said Nostradamus did too, but I don't remember seeing one when Nostradamus. Come to think about it. Well, he did also. He did the man. Leonardo did too. The skeleton, not the skeleton of the man. I can't remember what the hell they call it now. It's
Vitruvian Man.
Yeah. So there was so much stuff that was going on back there that could have brought us forward in the future, but was held back. And then let's not even forget about the damn Library of Alexandria, which, how did they say it happened? It was partially burned, and then it was fully burned later on.
Caesar launched an attack on the Alexandrian Navy, and it caught on fire, and then the fire spread to the city and burned the library.
Yeah, but they didn't burn it all the first time. It was burned again later on. It's look, people. All I was told was what's his face came down and burned the damn library. It wasn't Alexandria. It was I can't remember now. So that's what happens when you get old. No, I got all that shit in computers, so I can remember it, but I don't happen to be on that computer at the time.
Yeah, that happens to me.
Well, think of everything we're talking about. If we were being watched by extraterrestrials, they witnessed all of this.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure when it comes to Samaria, Mesopotamia, and Egypt, they were screwing around. And I'm pretty sure when it comes to the Toltecs, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, they were screwing around. And when you get up to the Hobbies, I think they were screwing around up there. It looks like ET was definitely screwing around with our society.
It still is.
And still is. Yeah, I can't even know. Well, I don't think as much as they used to be, though. I think somebody pulled them back. Maybe the council pulled them back and said, look, y'all haven't been doing that like good of a job. Knock it off. Leave them on their own for a while. It's a
possibility. There was we did mark a legitimate downtick in UFO, particularly related paranormal stuff throughout the 2000s.
Yeah. Well, so you've got a council with how many ever beings that are in this universe. So you're talking probably, the council's probably holding 50,000, 80,000, 100,000 different extraterrestrial groups on this planet. And they all got to say on what goes on. They're probably like, leave the stupid humans alone. Let the humans develop on their own. And I think they did that for one main reason, to slow us down. Because our computers now, we've been leaping. It was every 10 years and every 5 years. Now it's every 2.5 years. Pretty soon it's going to be every 1 year with AI. We're going to double our information. Well, as we're doing that, we're becoming a threat. Do you want to be wiped out? No. So what we need to do is first we need to unite our planet, start getting out in space, making sure we're not causing trouble like we did in Africa or South America or yeah, I mean, humans are known for causing trouble.
In the 40s.
Oh, look at what we did to poor Africa. We screwed Africa so bad it wasn't even funny. The Middle East we screwed with. South America we screwed with. The native Indians, look what we did to their poor asses. It's as a society, well, so because a lot of people think they're doing good when they bring them T-shirts and cigarette lighters and drugs and all sorts of stuff. They think they're helping out a society, but they're really not. So when we get into deep space and we start meeting societies like we are today, and we start getting advanced societies, advanced technologies, No telling what's going to happen.
We could create our own enemies like we have done here on the earth repeatedly, repeatedly, repeatedly.
It's time for us. It's just time for us to behave ourselves. Well, I think we need to be a united planet. I think we should set a rule that we can't leave the solar system for at least 100 years, and maybe 200 years, maybe 500 years. We should just explore our own solar system until we really understand what we have. Elon's working on a new engine that can get you around in the solar system. They can get to Mars in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. He said he'd be able to get to Jupiter in less than 2 days.
Wow.
I mean, that's a whole that's a mind breaker there.
Yeah.
Well, we knew it was coming. Actually, he's not the only one. The U.S. is working on one. I hear China's trying to work on one, but they're having a hard time catching up. Well, China's good, like Japan is good on taking a technology that someone gives them
and
really making something out of it. But they're not like the Americans in the way we think of things.
They can't invent stuff, yeah.
They're just not as good as we are in inventing things. I know. I used to think they were better, but I was wrong. So you can watch and go see all the stuff they have is all stuff that we had. They've upscaled it, but it's all stuff that we had. Everything, their planes, their boats, their ships, everything they got. Just go look. Or watch TikTok and you'll see it for yourself. They're taking ideas America came up with and just making them better, which is why we made friends with Japan. It's just one of those things. So they're brilliant. They're mathematicians. They are very brilliant. It's just, what do you mean? The missions to Mars? But think about what you're saying. They're using rovers and landers. And their lander looks a whole hell of a lot like, guess what? The lander we use to go to the moon. And their rovers look exactly like our rovers, and their rockets look exactly like Elon Musk. Matter of fact, the way they catch them is exactly like Elon Musk did. So, I mean, that's just our technology taken to the next level. Now, see, that they're waiting on America to design this new helium-3 collector and generator because they haven't been able to do it yet. They want to get up there and start collecting it and start selling it to people on the planet. They really haven't got that technology yet. And Russia's trying to get up there with them, but they haven't. If they had that technology, they would already be selling it to everyone on the planet. Guess what? The U.S. does. And we're planning on taking Artemis up there and start collecting helium-3 pretty soon. They want to build a colony first and then start, sending helium-3 back to Earth.
Well, rumor has it they already have a colony up there and have had one since just after.
I'm not even going to argue with that. They may have been a colony up there for a long time. I mean, let's not forget, people. Wernher von Braun's whole goal was to go to Mars, not the moon. So they would have been testing everything he needed to go to Mars on the moon.
But no, his plan to Mars required the moon as a launching off point.
Yeah, it did. It's they wanted to set up a colony up there and use these big rockets and all to send their ass to Mars, which would have got them there in about 3 months. And you know, you always hear them go, 14 months, 9 months, 10 months. But when you sit down and look at the technology and listen to these scientists, so the ones I'm seeing right now are 2 to 3 months. And Elon's got a goal of 1,000. So Jay and I talked about this 100 times. 50 ships will go on each way. Yeah. And I was fine with that. But the other day he put out a new video on TikTok. It's 1,000 ships, 500 going, 500 is coming. He planned on colonizing Mars quickly. He wants to get his stuff there fast. He wants to get everything going. He wants to have everything being built so he can just pick it up and go. And none of these ships are going to ever land again. The stuff's going to be brought up from the planet or brought from the moon and loaded on these ships and sent back. So even though these ships can land on Earth, they're not going to. They're just either going to get the material sent up to them from there. There's going to be a station, or they're going to get it like the helium-3. They're going to take off of Earth, off the moon. And these rockets are going to go much faster. So they were talking about this the other day. If you switch the fuel source on the whatever you call that damn rocket he built, the Starship, if you switch the fuels, instead of taking 3 or 4 months to get there, they can get there in 3 or 4 days. Because helium-3 allows you to create what? It allows you to do what? It allows you to do cold fusion. And cold fusion will move them rockets very fast.
Yeah,
about half a light speed. Yeah.
Back, boom.
Well, half a light speed is fast inside the solar system, my friend. Why do you think when you watch these sci-fi ships, they always come out of warp in the solar system? Because going any faster than that, well, two reasons why. One, going any faster than half a light speed, you're going to have a real time differential. You hit 3/4, you're going to start, people on the planet's going to start aging much faster than you are. You start getting anywhere close to light speed, man, 1,000 years is going to pass on Earth and 4 days is going to pass for you. That's not what we want to do. It's not what we're after, because that's useless. And then if we do that, sooner or later, Earth's technology will supersede the technology we're using, and it'll just pass you up on your way. You'll be out there one day and some ship will go like, what the hell was that? Well, that's a new Earth ship doing warp speed. I mean,
yeah,
so
that's 50% in all sci-fi shows. None of the faster than light ships go too faster than light speed while leaving the solar system or before entering it. They always slow down to impulse or half warp, whatever. There must be a reason for that. I'd imagine if you go even half light speed, you're going to shoot right past your mark. You don't have enough time to stop.
Oh yeah, and if you screw up and you hit Earth at light speed, you can probably take it out. So
yeah,
all this stuff is fascinating. Oh, we got to go to break in a minute, but all this stuff is fascinating. But it looks like Elon's got this really under control. What was that, Kirby? Oh, Trump's going to throw him out. Trump's not throwing him out. As a matter of fact, I hardly even hear him talking about each other anymore.
Yeah.
Well, he's NASA's main hope to get into deep space. He's NASA's main hope to get to Mars. He's building the Artemis rocket. I mean, who do you think's building that freaking big monster that's twice the size of the Apollo? I can't even fathom that. I've seen the Apollo up close. The Saturn V rocket I've seen up close and personal. This thing's almost 1.5 times the size. That's massive. I guess they're counting when he's got the stupid Starship on top of it. I don't know, Kirby. No, we're going to go to break in about 3 minutes, but we need to explore the solar system first. There's going to be life found in this solar system. There's going to be all kind of minerals found in this solar system. There's going to be stuff we've never heard of found. Come on. We found helium-3 when did the last Apollo fly up there? 1970 something.
So 1969 was the first moon landing.
Yeah. So think about it, this guys. If we'd got it then, we'd be moving all over the place. Helium-3 is the next Middle East. Whoever controls that controls the world. So that's why America needs to be up there. They don't care if China. So China can get it and sell it to whoever, but we want our own supply. And remember, the UN made it where you cannot own property on the moon or on Mars, anywhere in the solar system, by the way. Yeah, so that would be an act of war if anybody got on your property, because you can't own it. Well, it wouldn't even be an act of war. It wouldn't be nothing. Be like, hey, push over there, China. We're going to come get some of your helium-3, which I'm sure the Chinese wouldn't appreciate. But hey, that was the stupidest thing I ever heard the UN do. Oh, well, we're going to make it you can't have property on the moon. Bullshit. Yeah, this is like when you staked out territory on, and back in the day, the planned people. When we came to Earth, when we came to the moon, and we went to Brazil, or we went to Africa, everybody was staking out their claims. It's not going to be any different. And what you're going to start seeing is people like Elon going up there, and Jeff Bezos and other people setting up camp, because they'll have the money to go and build a base, start doing stuff. So you'll have countries, but I bet you the people like them will do it faster and quicker and cheaper. I bet you they will. And they'll get a lot of that helium-3 themselves and bring it back. Hell, they'll probably refine it up there, and they'll bring back refined helium-3. So they can just load it into a reactor. I was listening to this just yesterday. A handful of helium-3 and a fusion reactor in New York will power New York, the whole entire state, for 100 years. Do you know how much coal and natural gas we use just to power New York City? And one handful of this stuff will power the whole entire state for 100 years. And there's lots of handfuls of this material up there.
Yeah, the estimates are something on the order of 400. Was it billion or trillion? Hang on.
That's a lot. Well, I've heard estimates from 10,000
million Yeah, indicating
Somebody
a clear.
said 400 million billion, but I don't know if that's true or not. So we're not going to stick with that. But think of it this way, people. Whether it's 10,000 or 100,000 years, it's going to fuel our planet for that long. Do you know how far we'll get? Our entire solar system will be explored. We'll be having stuff. We'll be on Vega by then, Proxima, not Vega, Proxima, and a couple others that are nearby. Well, there's not that many planets nearby. I'd have to go look the chart. Well, Proxima, what is it, a trinary system?
It's very possible. I'm not sure. I think it is.
I don't. It's. But anyway, there's a couple of planets there. We'll be going there. We'll be going other places. Well, all the good planets are like 100 light years out or further. All the ones we've seen that we're really interested in, 100 light years. That means at light speed, it takes 100 years to get there. So at half light speed, it's going to take 200 years to get there.
Well, Proxima Centauri is a member of the Alpha Centauri star system. And there's Alpha Centauri. Yes, so yes, it's the ABC trinary system.
Yeah. So, well, that's the one that the Dogon used to tell us about, that we didn't even know B and C existed when they were telling us about. They did. We did. Yeah, figure that out. Some little tribe on the top of a mountain inside of Egypt, right outside Egypt's territory, knew about this, but we did. They did brain surgery. They knew the circulatory system of the body. That's impossible. You know what's even cooler? Their calendar is based on B going around A at 50.5. It takes 50.5 years to make one orbit. That's what their calendar is based on. I don't know did they know that? I mean, how did they know that? They also knew the density of Proxima A, that if you took a scoop of it, that it would go all the way through our planet if you dropped it. This is a tribe in Africa, people. Well, you know what? They're not the only ones that had advanced knowledge. The Aborigines had some pretty good knowledge. The Chinese had a little bit. The Toltecs had some knowledge. The Mayans had some. American Native Indians had some.
So here's an interesting fact. Proxima Centauri is the nearest star to our solar system at 0.2 light years away from us.
It's so people, we go zip along and get along. Well, they always like to use Proxima at 4 light years, but it's like Jay just said.
No, this is for Proxima Centauri to its closest to Alpha Centauri A and B.
There's one planet that's 3.8 light years away. Technically, that's a close. I don't know. They go back and forth on this stuff so much that it's irritating. It's like it used to be 100,000 light years across our galaxy. Now it's 160,000 light years, and they added another spiral band.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, scientists, I love y'all, but sometimes y'all cause more problems than you solve. No, I mean, really, it's aggravating sometimes. What's that, Christina? What about the shroud? No, we talked about it. If the shroud makes you feel good, then you should believe in it.
Mm-hmm. I said it really is based on your faith. If you have the faith in it, go with it.
I tell you what, I don't know if John DeSalvo is still doing radio anymore. I will put I'll put a thing out. We'll bring him on and we'll talk about the shroud. He knows a lot about the shroud because they worked on it. He knows a lot about stuff in Egypt because they worked on it. He's Sir John DeSalvo with the PhD, I think 2 PhDs. No, Sir, because he was knighted. And then 2 PhDs, yeah. Well, see, originally when him and I talked, he was going, yeah. He said we tried to prove that the shroud was Jesus. But he said the more and more we dug into it, the less likely it was. But then they got pulled. I forgot who it was that pulled them. Whoever was funding research pulled them because they didn't like where it was going. Because the Christians wanted to be Jesus. The Vatican definitely wants it to be Jesus.
They're afraid of the objective view.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just one of those things, Christy. But anyway, we're going to go to break right quick. Y'all just hang out. We'll come back and get a little bit deeper into why ET loves you and doesn't love you, and why Biden was definitely not an ET. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that.
He was spaced out, but he wasn't from space.
Yeah, he was a space cadet. but not the kind of space cadet that.
Yeah, no, he actually said that he was a space cadet.
But y'all hang out for a little while. I got a little promo plan or two, and then some music will come on, and then we'll be back. So see y'all in about 7 minutes.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Oh no, Chris, Jay's got 5 PhDs. Anyway, back to the commercial.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
All right, maybe it's 7. I forget sometimes.
You're still muted.
I remuted myself, my dumb self. That was actually quickly fast. No, Yeah, earlier I did that. I typed in which ones couldn't take RH negative. And the only one I came up with was the new girl, the Gwanda, whatever it is, gorilla blood. No, I'm sorry, that was wrong on my part. That was wrong on my part. But no, all the rest of them said it could. So I don't know. Jay and I are gonna have to go through this much more deeply. There seems to be a lot of contradiction here. You know, the original 3 hematologists I worked with never mentioned any of this stuff when we did the blood type. So I'll write to them, see if they're all still alive and kicking or not having retired, and see what they say about it. Well, I was asking if the golden blood type couldn't take it because it doesn't have an RH factor, and it said it could. But then I went to another page and said it couldn't, and I went to another page and said it could. I was like, oh, come the bleep on. Well, because we use blood types for tracking alien contact. Would there be a special reason why there would be different bloods, and does the aliens care? Well, we know they care about RH negative. So maybe we should check these other people.
Would be that they gave us the 4 different types of aliens, 4 or 5 different types of, why are there 48? Maybe it's 48 different alien species.
Yeah, see, I don't think that's what it is, because they all pretty much say they're mutations. It's so I don't know. And so I always do it the same way when I deal with these things. People ask me all the time about this, so I go by simply proof on extraterrestrials. So there are proof for the Greys, there are proof for the reptilians, there are proof for the humans, there are proof for Charles Howell's tall whites, and there's proof for the cleanup clues and the light beams. Other than that, there is no proof. Somebody told me the other day, well, they were in Samaria. I said, yes, the human aliens were in Samaria. Yes, I mean, and when you start going through the whole list of places,
aliens.
Well, they were there. We had them too. Yes, and they were messing with the Dogon. Even when you get to the Americas, they were with certain types of species aliens. None of them are mentioning any other types of aliens. The only other type that gets mentioned is the Manus, and there's not any real proof of them. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying. So this is my problem with the Manus. They may or may not exist, but the 5 reports we got all said the same thing, that they thought they were mannequins of some type. Because when the Greys used to use them to scare people, and then I don't know what happened. And then lately, the last 2 decades, there hasn't been any reports of them. So I don't know what to tell. I'm not ruling. I don't look. I didn't. You know what? I don't rule any of it, because when Charles Halls first told me about the tall whites, I was like, okay. Area 53, tall whites. I was kind of like, I don't know. But it turned out that they do exist.
Oh, aren't we into Michelle's time? Does she start at 9?
Oh, yeah, we are in Michelle's time. Shit, it's 8 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to go, guys. I'm sorry. We're taking the breaks when it's time. I'm thinking it's a whole different time. Yes, I'm thinking we still had an hour.
Yeah, no.
Yes. The show be kicking Jay and I's ass. We're going to an hour. But we got to go, guys and girls. Jay's right. I wanted to start bringing on guests, but there's a couple of things that I think we're going to work on before we do that. Just some loose ends I want to tie up, like what we were just talking about with the types of aliens. We'll do types and aliens, types of ships. And then we might do a little more stuff on the blood work. And then I think we're going to probably invite Dolly Saffron on the first guest maybe in 3 weeks. And then Jay and I'll get together and see who else we want to start bringing on. And we'll start loading in the guests and seeing who. And if you like somebody or you'd like to see somebody, you can write to either one of us, and we'll see about getting them on. Oh, you mean Heidi? Oh, I don't know. Heidi's bad, man. She got the evil streak in her. I don't know if we can bring her on. She's like, we'd have to have the cross the whole entire time of the show.
She can melt our minds with her eyeballs. Yeah.
She's a sweetie pie. We're just kidding. But anyway, we're gonna go because Michelle is on right now, and she probably is going. I'm going to kick Joe's ass when I get off. And I got to see her later tonight. So, and we are working on other stuff for YouTube. But on that note, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and UFO Undercover. Jay and I said we love y'all, and we'll see y'all. We'll see you Friday. Good night, everybody.